Hey, what is up, guys? So I'm back with another video. I think the last video I uploaded was like 2 weeks ago. I didn't upload last week for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I was too busy. I don't know. But in this video, I'm gonna be doing a review about a series. It's called Uzumaki. It is a horror manga by Junji Ito. It's a very interesting series, I should say. Very interesting. I really like the spine right here. The spine of the book. That's a character from the book who I'm not going to talk about right now. But yes, very interesting book. I enjoyed reading it very much, and I love his artwork. I simply love it. He's a very good, very skilled artist here, and I really love reading it, and I'm so happy that I had picked this up. I picked this up at Barnes and Noble. It was 28 bucks. It was pretty good. It was the only time I had ever seen this manga at all. I had seen the live action, I want to say a few months ago, but then I picked this up and I read through it in a couple days, and then I rewatched the live action film. So basically what this is about, Uzumaki means spiral in English, I guess. And what it's about is in this town called Kurouzucho. Hope I'm saying that right. It is just it is contaminated. That's the word I'm looking for. Contaminated with spirals. People become obsessed with it, and they die by the spiral. It's very interesting and weird. So the main character is Kirie. She's in high school, and her boyfriend Suichi, I hope I'm saying that correctly. So they're the main two characters in this series, and it's very interesting because I don't remember how many chapters. There is 19 chapters plus an extra chapter that says it's a lost chapter or something that was, I guess, released after the series was finished or something. So 20 chapters in all, and basically pretty much there is no real storyline or plot really. It's basically every chapter it's about a different person who dies by the spiral. I think that part of it I don't really like so much. I was hoping it was going to be like an actual storyline, and what's odd is that in the beginning here, you see Kirie. She's right here looking over her town here, and it says, and it reads, "This is Kurouzucho, where I grew up. I would like to share with you the strange events that took place here." So basically, when I read that, it sounded like she is telling her story about this place and all of that. And I guess I'm going to go into some spoilers here, but at the end she dies. So I don't quite understand that, how it sounds and looks like she's telling the story, but there's no possible way she could be telling the story because at the end she dies. It's very weird. So it's broken up into chapters, and each chapter is about a different person, and towards the end the chapters connect more than in the beginning. It's basically like, I would say, like a slice of life, like it's just one day per chapter or something like that. I think it skips some time in between chapters. as far as like the first half of this book goes. But towards the second half, it's more connected, and there's actually things going on rather than it telling different stories of different people and how they eventually died. Um, yeah, pretty weird. I didn't like that so much, and the main thing about this series is the art style. The art style is very interesting. It is in the horror genre. It is a horror manga. Um, I wouldn't say it's scary, or at least not to me. Maybe if a little kid was looking at this, reading this, maybe that kid would think this is really terrifying to them or something. Because there are some really creepy images in this manga, and it is creepy, and that is amazing how Junji Ito makes this spiral, this Uzumaki, into something weird, and just how he portrays it throughout this series. Um, but I don't know. That's pretty much all I have to say about the manga. But then I decided to rewatch the live action. I had watched it a few months ago before I bought this book. But then I decided to rewatch it again to refresh my memory on it and to maybe catch some similarities or differences between the manga and the live action. And I did not like the live action at all. I can't even say that I so much liked the manga. Well, I did like it. I enjoyed reading it. But I was unsatisfied after reading it. Like, I was reading through the last pages, and after I read the last page, it was like, well, okay, there, I finished it. That's it. There was nothing exciting. I didn't feel any accomplishment or anything. I didn't feel any closure, actually, even from finishing this manga. In my opinion, I feel it's incomplete because it leads to nothing, the way I see it, and the live action is even worse, I would say, than the manga. I'm not trying to talk bad about this manga series at all because I really enjoyed it, but the live action was, in my opinion, completely horrible. The live action is an hour and 30 minutes long, and it's from like 2000 or something, and it looks really low budget. But look at the size of this whole series. This is like 600 pages worth of manga here, and there's no way you can fit 600 pages into an hour and 30 minutes. And the film looked really low budget. In my opinion, I think the film would have been better in a anime or maybe just a TV drama, even if it's going to be live action. So that way they could dedicate an episode to a chapter of the manga, and they can tell the different stories of these different people and what became of them in the end. I think that would have been way better than making an hour and a half long movie that was not very good at all. Even the effects that they added into the film, the editing, in my opinion, it was complete crap. But I mean, I don't think I would ever watch it again. I've seen it twice, but I don't think I would ever watch it again. But something weird that I noticed is that in the manga, Kiria has a mother and a younger brother. And she's living with her family along, with her father, and throughout the whole manga. But in the film, her mother died when she was a child, and she has no brother. Maybe that has to do with the low budget or something. They had to cut some characters. But a character that they did add in the film that was not in the manga was this police detective. I can't remember his name at the moment. But Shuichi talked to him after Shuichi's dad had died. In the manga, he had killed himself, becoming a spiral in a wooden tub that he had bought. Uh, but in the live action film, he killed himself in a washing machine, which I think is more practical. I mean, I don't know how he became a spiral in a wooden tub, but it it is what it is, I guess. So there are definite changes in this live action, and I, I don't know. The second character, like for instance, the second character that is introduced in the live action is a character called Yamaguchi. Pretty sure I got that right. Maybe I didn't. Um, but this is a guy who in the manga is referred to as a Jack in the Box because he jumps out and scares people. He has this crush on Kirie, and throughout the, well, not throughout the manga, he has his own chapter. But he, pops out at her, surprises her, and he tries to get her to be his boyfriend. In the end, what happens to him is he gets hit by a car, he gets stuck in the front wheel of the car, and he himself becomes a spiral. Um, but he is introduced way early in the film. He's the second character introduced, but in the manga, he's introduced in the 7th chapter, and that's the only chapter that he's in. So in the film, it is in a different order than in the manga, which, I mean, I guess you're making a 19-20 chapter manga into an hour and a half. I guess you gotta strategize and figure out what you want in this film and what you don't want, which really sucks. I think it would have been better as a TV series than as a film, or at least maybe if it was done way better than how this film was. So there are many differences. There are characters that weren't introduced in the live action that were in the manga. And there was a lot that happened in the manga that did not happen in the live action at all. So in the manga, at the end, what happens is everybody in the whole town, they are unable to leave. What is it? Kuro Uzucho is the name of the town. They're unable to leave because the spiral, the Uzumaki has the whole town in its grasp or whatever. And there are these row houses, I think they're called, I can't remember, around the town, and they're all facing Dragonfly Pond. And what happens in the end is everybody in the town becomes all jumbled together, and they become all spiraled together, and they're just like one big mass of people, which is pretty disgusting. And then, let me try to find it in the manga. But they build the row houses into a spiral around Dragonfly Pond, which is something that did not happen at all in the live action. As you can see right here, this is what happened. That's a building that just spirals all the way around the pond, which is in the middle, and it's basically like a maze. And that is Kirie and Shuichi, and this is a reporter who was introduced very briefly in the live action, but died very quickly, more quickly than she did in the manga. So Kirie and Shuichi, I hope I'm saying that right, they travel through the spiral to the middle to Dragonfly Pond, and what they come across is that the pond is completely empty, and there's a spiral staircase leading basically like to the center of the earth. I don't know, somewhere inside the earth, and they go down, and basically what happens is they die. They become a spiral together, just like everyone else who in the town, who they all are down there. Everyone died, became an Uzumaki, and the Uzumaki, took the whole town, and eventually it'll happen again because supposedly it happened in the past and it's been happening in the past and it'll happen again, which I don't know. In my opinion, it's like when I watched Stephen King's It, the film. I didn't read the book. I don't know if I want to read that book, but I watched the film, and it was very disappointing at the end when you find out it was all pointless. It was just a big old spider. It was a waste of my time. I wouldn't say that the manga is a waste of time. I really enjoy the art style of this manga. It is something worth reading, mainly for that art style. But the live action is a waste of time completely. I would not watch it again, and I don't recommend watching it because it doesn't even end the way that the manga ends. The live action ends with Shuichi, who becomes into a spiral and ends up killing Kirie and making her into a spiral with him. And then it just shows a bunch of people who died. A bunch of characters who died, and then that was it. That's how it ended. Completely stupid ending for live action. And the manga, in my opinion, did not end much better than the live action did. It I was just unsatisfied. I legitimately was unsatisfied, and I felt that there could have been more, and the story was incomplete. Um, so I wouldn't say the manga is a waste of time because I really enjoyed the art style, and I think you should read it specifically for the art style. But if you're trying to get something out of it, uh, then don't look at this at all because I got completely nothing out of it. I read it cover to cover, and that was it. And I don't know if I'll ever read it again. Maybe I will, but it'll probably be years from now after I've forgotten everything about it, and then I'll probably watch live action again and be like, "What the fuck am I watching?" But I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I really did enjoy this book. The art style is amazing. I love it so much. And I think you should check it out if you enjoy this art style or if you're looking for something unique. Like, look at this. The dude became a snail. That's weird, interesting. It's kind of creepy. But yeah, so you can pick this specific book up. On the back it says $27.99. I think I got it a little bit cheaper. I think I had a coupon. But it is by Viz Media, and I don't know if this sale is still going on, but at Barnes & Noble they're having a sale for Viz Media manga. Buy two, get the third for free. And I'm not, getting sponsorship in any way. I'm just saying. But along with Uzumaki, I also got Dead Man Wonderland, which is also, Viz Media. I started watching this anime series, pretty interesting, and I can't wait to read it. I really like the front cover of Shiro, and I can't remember his name because I don't care about him. I only care about Shiro. Pretty sure that's her name. I can't remember. And then I got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I messed up because I know nothing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and all I saw was that it was a volume 1, so I picked it up. It wasn't until after I got home that it said Part 3 Stardust Crusaders on it, so I looked it up, and the whole manga series is set up in different parts, and there are different volumes within that part. And I picked up volume 1 from part 3. So there's, I don't know, I want to say like 10 other volumes before this volume. I'll still read it, and I don't know, maybe I'll get back to you on it. I had watched the first episode of this anime a while back. It was like a super old episode. I think it wasn't even released on TV. I think it was an OVA. It was just put on a DVD and sold like that. It was very weird, interesting. I couldn't get into it. Um, but I keep hearing so much about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I had to check it out. And I don't know, maybe after reading this, it will spark something, and I'll continue watching it or something. I'll check out what's going on with the series. Um, but I think that's all I have to say for right now in this video. So I guess you guys will see me in the next video next week or maybe 2 weeks from now. I don't know. I'll have 2 more videos up here on the side. At the end of the video, you can click on those. I have a subscribe button right here. You can click on that or not. If you made it to the end of this video, leave a comment so that I know someone made it to the end of this video. Because I don't even know, I'm not even sure if people actually watch my video from start to finish. Anyway, whatever. You guys will see me next time, or maybe you won't.